Sony just announced that they're getting rid of physical copies of their games by 2028. They're citing the reason behind this decision is because only 15% of video games purchased come from physical media and the other 85% of them are all digital. But that's bullshit. And let me explain why. I'm currently sitting outside my local library. Now, what's really cool about my local library is that it's not just books and movies, but they also stock games. And this library of games that they have is pretty up to date and recent. If a game comes out on Tuesday, they'll have it in their inventory on Wednesday. And this has been the way me, as well as many other people in my community, have been able to play video games. Now, you get 3 weeks with the game until you have to give it back or before you have to renew it. So whenever I'm playing a game or I want to get into a game and I know it's probably going to take me 100+ hours to finish, like a Cyberpunk, instead of going here, I'll go and get that game from Facebook Marketplace. But you see the problem here? Those two main pathways that allow me to be in this community of people who enjoy video games is not at all incorporated in that 15 to 85% metric that Sony is using to justify completely scrapping physical games, even though this is how I and a lot of people consume most of our games. I mean, I'll buy a physical one from a retailer like once in a while if I'm really excited for the game, like Lego Batman. That shit was fantastic. But all the people who come to this library to be able to have access into this expensive hobby and community are simply going to be cut out in a couple of years because they're being priced out of it. Sidebar, isn't it crazy how it's more expensive now that they're removing physical media? They don't have to worry about packaging. They don't have to worry about the disc. They don't have to worry about putting those together, wrapping them up, shipping them out to retailers. And somehow GTA 6 for the full experience is 150 Canadian dollars plus tax. Anyways, back to my point. A good chunk of the people who used to get their games like this are just simply going to be cut out of the future of video games. But this isn't the only consequence of losing physical media. And that's what I wanted to discuss in today's video. Have you ever noticed that there's a big difference between your physical collection and your digital collection and how you value them? If you bought a game and you have the disc, you're more likely to have finished it than if you were to like buy a game on a Steam sale for like 10 cents and it's just been in the back of your digital library just rotting away. I think that's because when you don't have the art physically in your hands, you value it less. I mean, this has been a conversation in music for God knows how long. Artists have been saying since the start of the streaming era how the quality and value of their work seems to have diminished because it's so easily accessible. And a lot of artists yearn for the time when music was predominantly consumed through like CDs and vinyls and cassettes. And it's pretty interesting because, yeah, sure, on paper, they're the exact same media, just presented in different formats. I mean, the same song is going to be coming out of your speakers. You're going to be playing the exact same game. But just having it in our hands, I feel like makes us value the medium more. Like, there's a different level of appreciation that you have with physical media because there's also a little bit more that comes along with the experience that I think makes the consumer want to appreciate the medium more. Like if you have a vinyl for an album, it comes with the artwork in the inside of the sleeves and on the vinyl itself perchance, or there'll be like a booklet and a poster that draws you more into the world of what the artist was trying to do with that album. In video games, like I'll use Grand Theft Auto 5 for an example. The case of it, I wish I brought it. On the cover where you see Grand Theft Auto 5, the V is in this really nice, shiny, metallic print. And when you open the game case, there's a map of all of Los Santos that I'm sure if you were 12 at the time like me, you pinned that shit on your wall. And I know that's like nothing, but it is something. Now, I don't think any of these small little things would dramatically change your opinion on the art. I think it creates more of the word I was looking for was appreciation. I mean, shit, even if you buy a video game physically on Amazon, you have to still wait for it to come and you have to unbox it. And if you can't play it immediately, you'll read the cool ass description on the back of the box with the little snapshots of the gameplay on it. But back in my day, before Amazon destroyed every retail storefront, we used to have something even better. We used to have a community around physical media. Trying my best to not sound like old man yelling at the sky, but back in my day, man, any video game that had a smidgen of clout people were waiting for in the middle of the night, Call of Duty Black Ops, Uncharted, Halo, it was great. You had like-minded people come in and you can share the excitement and you could have discussions about what you want from the game and what you hope is in the game and what you liked about the previous games in the franchise. Sure, we have that online with like Reddit now, but it's not the same, man. It's just not the same. I mean, again, this applies to multiple different types of media. I wasn't around for this, but when 50 Cent and Kanye West had both their albums coming out at the same time and they had a competition of who could sell out more, it was fun seeing photos of people going into their Best Buy and seeing the displays for both albums next to each other, seeing Kanye's fully sold out where 50 Cent still had like half the copies in stock. Shit, I mean, my biggest introduction to the gaming world was FaZe, and I remember specifically what brought me in was this video of FaZe Rain buying a copy of Black Ops 3 for every single member of the FaZe house and handing it to them. That also made me want to buy Black Ops 3. And it also made me spend like, what, 180 hours on that game? All in all, physical media really brought a sense of community in this hobby where you would think that there's not a lot of community since a lot of it is just one person staring at a screen for hours. But in a time where we feel like we need community more than ever, it feels like it's being taken away from us. I've had people share books with me, share art with me, share music with me, saying, hey, I think you should check this out, and handing to me the physical copy of that item. Just sucks that we can't do that with video games anymore. But it seems that this type of community building and valuing of the art is not enough for Sony. And it's unfortunate because it's just another example of companies trying to price out the middleman. We haven't really talked about the reasoning for Sony's decision, and it's really simple. Let's say you have a bake shop and you charge $1 for a cupcake, and every day you sell like 100 cupcakes, and in turn you make $100 and you make 100 people happy because now they all have a cupcake. You keep growing and growing and growing this business until you realize, wow, I kind of hit a ceiling with my capacity to make cupcakes, but I still kind of want to make money. So what do I do? Well, what if instead of charging $1 for a cupcake, you charged $50 for a cupcake? And because you're already popular, because you've been selling cupcakes at a low price for so long, people already know about your cupcakes. And sure, most people probably can't afford it anymore, but there's probably 2 people who can. And with those 2 people, you're going to just be making the same exact amount of money that you were making before. But now you get to save money because now you don't have to spend money in creating 100 cupcakes. You only have to make 2. Sony have begun adopting this cupcake model, and it's not like a recent development. It's just suddenly starting to happen in gaming, but this has been happening in a lot of different industries over and over and over again. Many companies have purposely chosen to squeeze out the middle class of consumers because they realize that appealing to the tiny demographic of people who can afford these new predatory prices is more efficient. Concerts and live events is like the biggest comparison that I think I can make. I mean, dude, I'm in Canada, I'm in Toronto, the World Cup is happening right now, and it's always been my like lifelong dream to attend a game, but I can't afford $3,000 tickets. Are you kidding me? And I love going to concerts, but a lot of artists are getting blue dot fever, which is where they price their tickets so egregiously high that they have to cancel shows because no one can afford to go see them. And it's funny because here in Ontario, we passed a law where one of the biggest problems, which was reselling tickets, became illegal, and you could only sell a ticket for the price you got it at, so you wouldn't be able to make a profit. And then companies heard this and they're like, okay, let's just make our tickets dynamic pricing so we can be the ones who scalp our fans. And it's pretty similar to what Sony's doing right now with physical discs, because now that they've removed to have physical games, the only real place you can get games now is the PlayStation Store. And once they control the pricing, next thing you know, you're at their mercy. It's all bullshit, man. I love music. I love sports. I love video games. But it feels like regular people like me, like most people who enjoy these things, are getting priced out of them. Or are they? My optimistic worldview is that I think in an effort to make capitalism the most profitable it can be, these companies are shooting themselves in the foot for their future. Let me explain why. So, mainstream entertainment is super expensive. People have a demand for entertainment. People can't afford/refuse to participate in the predatory pricing structure of modern entertainment. People still need entertainment. So what do they do when the modern supply doesn't work for them? They find alternatives. It's a matter of fact that in that library right now, there's probably thousands of games that I haven't played that are on my list of games that I want to play that I just haven't checked out, don't have enough time. And it's no help that there's an influx of new games that keep getting added onto that list that I'm more likely to play first because they're newer and it's more exciting to play them. But now I have no excuse not to revisit old classics. And I'm very happy that I've been doing that. I, for the first time in my life, in my 20s, played the Assassin's Creed franchise from start to finish, the Halo franchise from start to finish. I'm currently playing The Witcher. These are all games that are dated. And with this most recent Sony news, I think I'm just gonna continue doing exactly what I was doing before and just checking out older titles that are amazing and classics that I just never got around to try out when the spotlight was on them. And I think people who want to go to live events like concerts or sporting events are finding similar alternatives. Instead of spending $400 on a band that they want to see, they can go $30 at a local show. Or if you want to watch sports, instead of going to the actual stadium, you can go to a community-ran watch party. It also doesn't hurt that the enshittification of capitalism has made most of the new stuff that's come out ass, to be honest. Not sure if you've seen this, but like music acts like Summer Walker are doing shows at Scotiabank where she's not even performing her biggest songs. She goes in the back because she has anxiety and her DJ just plays them. And like in every AAA video game nowadays, is broken on release and only gets better like 2 weeks, a month after maybe the game's out. We as consumers have the ability to not validate these lackluster, half-assed, late-stage capitalist industries. Instead, we can use our dollar as our leverage and our bargaining power, which a lot of people already are doing. So yeah, it sucks that the future is like this, but the spirit of what makes all these mediums of entertainment alive isn't a giant corporation like Sony. It isn't their decision to remove physical discs. Spirit and community comes from the consumer, which is us, and we can dictate how we want to move forward. And for now, I'm fine with changing my spending habits if it means I'm getting stuff from people who actually care and aren't half-assing it. Anyways, that's been my video. I kind of wanted to do a more optimistic take on this whole Sony situation that I've been seeing all over my feed. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm just hope maxing or if what I'm saying is valid. This has been Ali, and I'll see you in next week's video. Peace.